Hello everybody, welcome to another Generational Gaming video. I am your host Michael. Today is part 3 of my Canny Endurance AFK base. And when I say AFK, I mean it purely AFK. You do not have to do anything. No refilling traps, no rebuilding, no repairing at all. You can just let it go, walk away, watch TV, go do something else, come back. You'll be at wave 26. If you pass that, you'll get the wave 29. If you pass that, you'll definitely get the wave 30, and you have to try to beat that one. It's still doable, but 3 mini bosses is a pain in the butt to fight anytime. But even if you were to fail at 26 because of the random wave being at the wrong place, you still get over 400 legendary perk ups, which is amazing for doing absolutely nothing, not wasting any traps, and you're able to go do something else while it's happening. Plus, you can also, if you're using a constructor, which you should, with recycling, you can get free mats, free metal at least, which is always nice. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video. Alright, let's go with Amp A now. As always, my amps have a giant box around them, like this. Not much to see. It's a 3x3, 3 with triangles all around it. A floor for your base, and a triangle to protect it. And a triangle to protect your base from lobbers anyway. Okay, from there, you attach 2 ramps high, then a wall, and then another ramp. You do that all the way around. So, basically, just here, this side, the north side, and the one side of east. That's it. So, 2 high, wall, 3 high. The reason for this, 2 high first, because you have floor launchers down there that I'll show you. Wall, then this, because sometimes things will spawn up in here. Or they'll spawn right back here. And you do not want them being able to just come mosey on up and walk down your ramp right to your base. That is a bad thing. You do not want that. That is the point of this. So if they try to do that, they will be murdered by the broadsides. Which is always good, because they gotta walk this way first. So they'll get hit by this broadside, then here, and then get murdered before they can even get through. They won't even bother. If this happens, they won't bother because they're just gonna get shot up anyway. Now for here, I'm not sure if they actually spawn up here, but sometimes a husk will get daring and come all the way back to the nice lake here, dip his toes, because their skin is all dry and cracked, and they'll walk right up here through this, and they'll come all the way back just to start lobbing stuff at your base. And if you had the ramps right here, they wouldn't even bother throwing. They would just walk right in and start attacking. And every other husk would go, hey, that's a good way to go. So what you want to do all the way back here in the corner, show it on the map. You want to put 2 walls, a floor, triangle, and 2 more walls. This will 100% deter them from ever coming this way. And if they happen to spawn up in here somehow, this will deter them from walking into your base. They still might lob, but that's what those are for. So you don't have to worry anymore. Now, the base itself. Let's go inside and take a look. Alright, so this wall, this right here, You want to put a wall, triangle, half floor, wall, triangle, half floor, wall, wall. Of reason you want this, I don't even know why that's there. The reason you want this is because this spot is very bad for trying to do the wall launcher, because you can only build one ramp. If this game would let me. Oh yeah, you weren't able to even put a ramp there. You would have had to done is had the ramp like this, and they would just get stopped right there. It's just not. It's really not worth it. You don't get any height, any distance, so it's better just to block it off by doing this too deep. The husks, if they do happen to come over here, wall launcher, send them back to where they came from. But as always, 2 floor launchers deep around it with half walls. So there's 2 half walls, a quarter wall right here, all half walls. This is for maximum maze ability. You always want to alternate the openings, so that's why the opening is over here, and then it's back over here, and then so forth. So they have to travel like this through the entire base. You just keep doing that the whole way. Obviously, we block this off so they don't attack it. And that's what these wall launchers and floor launchers are mostly for too. If they do stand here to try to attack, they go bye-bye. So let's start out here. Okay, so they spawn all up in here, all back in there. Sometime, and even up in here, they'll spawn up in here. And that's where that come back here, because you know, nice refreshing dip in the pool, get their skin nice and moist. And they would walk around and they would attack your base. But with that build I just showed you, they won't bother. They'll come here, they'll fall down, and then come through here. If they try to break this, wall launch them back. Quarter wall to stop them. If they spawn from up here and they drop in here, a nice place to go get stunned. At every quarter wall, at the end of the hallway, a wall launcher to send them back to reuse the traps. Again, alternate your sound walls and wall lights, so that way you get both effects, because they do not stack. If you use the same trap twice, like 2 sound walls, they won't stack. Only 1 sound wall effect. But these will stack. They will stun and make them dance and freeze them. Like most people don't know, apparently, husks always spawn in a waves, or they have the initial spawn. If you do not kill those husks and those husks do not despawn, nothing else will spawn in its place, and you'll just have to deal with the initial amount of husks. What's great about that is normally smashers, huskies, lobbers, flingers, all the bad guys are generally later in spawning. They're not usually the very first spawn unless it's built that way into the wave. But this works for all missions, SSDs, and endurance. That's how it works. Initial spawn, don't kill them, nothing else will come up. No smash, so it makes stalling the better way to play this game, because you have less to deal with. It saved on anti-airs and quartz, all the good stuff, the hard things. Like I said, at the end of every hallway, you got a quarter wall to make sure they walk as far in as they can, and then get ejected back. I found that sometimes they would try to stand here and break this wall, so that's what this wall launcher is for. Even if this sends them back, it'll just send them back over again. Enough that they never break it. Again, alternating. See? Now, this doesn't need to be alternating. This needs to be alternating. See? Alternate. Alternate. So you get both effects. If you don't have sound walls or you don't have wall lights, like one or if you don't have both, but one or the other, you can use them. And just letting you know that you won't get the maximum usage out of it. You can always add me on Epic. I can always trade with you. I can make these things. Now, here's one of the spots I was telling you about. You cannot build here for no reason. I have no idea why. If you really look, there's no reason that you can't build. I guess that little piece of that little piece up there is sticking out. But that seems like an oversight in my opinion. From Epic. I mean, really, you can build walls everywhere else except for, like, right there. That doesn't make sense to me. So that's it for the east side of A. Let's see if I can give you a nice little up-top view. See, it's a maze. Makes them take longer to go through it all. And by taking longer, you get maximum usage out of your... My controller is bad, so sometimes I move for no reason. So this, it's just a giant maze to keep them in there longer and stall them as long as you need to. You only need to stall them for most 6 minutes tops. Now, what you need to do is block this side off. This must be blocked or they will just come through here and it's no good. So what we got here is just a triangle, walls. Here we have half-floor triangles, half-floor triangles, half-floor triangles, half-floor triangles. This is just a triangle and a wall. This is just a triangle and a wall. And then just 2 walls right here. So that was this upper part. Let's see. Let's put it a little so you can see. So it's just a wall and a triangle way out there. Then half floor triangle, half floor triangle, half floor triangle, half floor triangle, 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 walls. Now for over here, you got your 2 walls. Probably could even. You don't even need to go for a third there. You probably don't even need. You need this wall because it could break through here and break through there. This is just a triangle wall. Triangle wall. Triangle wall. Triangle wall. Triangle wall. That's all you need. And that's from right in here. That way they don't try breaking through this one wall and going through this. This will stop them from doing that. Now for here. Okay, so we have this. We already said about the 2 deep on the floor launchers. Now here, they sometimes like to come up this way. They spawn right in here, so you can't even really block it off. You can't even do this. Because they will just, when it spawns, they'll just break it anyway. So there's no point. So you got, so what you do is you got a wall launcher. So even if they pass this one, they hit this one, then hit this one, then go back. Freeze traps, sound walls, wall lights for stalling, quarter walls to keep them taking as long as possible because this is a short distance for them to have to travel. So that's why when they come out here, this is why you put this opening here. So when they come up, they come to here, They get ejected back. Hit this. Fall in. And this is a jail cell in here. And then they get ejected back into this. They got to deal with this a bunch of times until they finally come out in here and are able to break out. But by then, damage is done. They didn't really get to do much. If you don't do it this way, they'll just walk right up and be at your base in no time. And you don't want that. So down here, the reason I made it a jail cell is because there's a ramp here. See, I would love to put a wall there, but you can't. So, nothing you can do about this. So, you got sound wall, wall lights, sound wall, wall launcher in case they try to break through. Again, at the end of the quarter wallway of the hallway, eject them back. Alternating sound wall, wall lights when both could be applied to the husks. I could have put a thing there as well. Probably smarter too. You pretty much always want to use the wall launcher at those points. Just because it makes them have to re-travel the spots, so you get to use your traps more. And this is where they initial spawn, like I said, in there and out here. So that's what these are for. This is so if they try to break this to get in, they just get ejected back and they got to deal. They'll hopefully repath to here. So apparently they can't walk up this. So this trap is totally useless. So we might as well just break it. And apparently this one too. I can't believe it. I really can't walk up this one. And they can't walk up this one. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay. Now I get what goes on here. I know what happens now. They just stand here trying to break them all. But you know what? You can have the floors there. But there's no point in putting the traps then. Because if they can't walk through it, they're just going to stand here breaking it. And they won't get used. Until here. So here you're just going to put 3 floors. That'll just slow them down. In fact, if you really want to slow them down, just to be mean, you can put down triangles on top too. But honestly, building just to stall for damage-wise like that is worthless because they're not gonna. It won't take them very long. Because honestly, when you put a floor there, it's not just gonna be one husk hitting it. All of them are gonna be hitting it. All, what, 15? So it'll just be like phew, gone, and they'll just do it again and again, and it'll just be of waste. So we'll just do this. Put no floors here because they can't walk on them until here. This is where they can start to walk. And by doing this, I think if the way I had it before, like this, instead of trying to break this, they'll break this one instead. So this will give them a way to walk around it. This is for lobbers because they sometimes would stand right here and lob to like here, right here, right, like right in here, this area, and you don't want that. So not sure what that was for. Considering if they're gonna stand here, they're not lobbing at anything. It's here that they lob at. And there we go. There we go. You don't need that. There we go. This is what you want right here. This is how you want to build it. This will stop them from lobbing. I don't know why, but they won't stop here to lob. They'll stop there. I don't know why. And here's another spot you can't build. See? Now this one doesn't make any sense at all, considering the floor does not even touch the mountainside. There is no reason that you can't build there. See? It's like a bad zone for some reason. I have no idea why, but because I would put a floor right here if I could. It's so dumb. But it's just another bug of the game that doesn't get fixed. So, pretty much once you've seen one base, watched one video, all the bases are built the same way, except for C. Freeze traps, alternating sound walls, wall lights, wall launches at the end of the hallways to send them back, so they have to travel again. And then, oh yeah, we have over here, right here, down at the base of this ramp, there's another one. So we got a floor here. And we just have a triangle. Can I get through? No, of course not. Triangle. Just a bunch of triangles. This mostly goes for C more than it does for A. But I mean, they can use it to get to A. But I'll probably show it again in C as well, because it has to deal with both. So basically, from the bottom of that ramp right in front of A, in here in this hallway, you want triangles and walls in there, at least 2 deep, all the way through. This is to protect A and C. Here we just have a floor to finish it off, but again, same thing. Now, because this is part of C too. Down here at the end of C, there's also a hallway or a ramp for them to walk up into. See, there's a ramp and then another hallway for them to cut through. So we need a little bit more protection here because this is early on, and they will go around if they need to. So what we have in here is a floor, half floor, and a triangle. And this is enough to deter them. It's too much for them to go through. And then this is where it comes out, right here. And that's why, so that's why you need that there, because if they're coming for Amp C, they could just break this and then just like go through it, and you don't want that. So you need you need protection here. So this is how you do it. Now let me get out of here. And that's it for A. There's really nothing else for it. Doing this, A will always survive as well. If you have any questions or comments, you know, leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be doing the next 2 parts, which is going to be C and B. I'll probably save C for last because that is the most intense base in the entire Canny Endurance. He gets hit with the mini bosses 3 times or 2 times. I think it's 3 times. I know it gets hit. I think it's like wave 8, and I know it's Smasher wave 23, and then wave 28 also hits it as well. So what? It's definite 2 mini boss waves, a Smasher wave. I know the final wave is random. I think there's another random mini boss wave at 16 as well. But that C gets hit the hardest, so that'll be my last one. Next one will be Amp B. So don't forget to come back and watch for that one, for the AFK Canny Endurance, for the legendary perk up farming. And as always, GG.